10 rows anointed. The fiesta's popping and all fingers pointed. Riyadh bottles got the whole crowd jointed. Chicken with eyes kept me sweating no why. I can't be living word fly, keep the gleam in your eye. Con mucho drum roll on time, let the horn blow. Gas to the pedal like metal at a corn show. The rhyme rocker with a shitload of placa. Grab the mic and freak the rhythm till there's no more bala. Stomy palabra, pero booze and ha-ha. That includes all who goes sissy la la. So do the cha-cha, who can call me Papa. We're okay for action, hunt until mañana. Down for hi-hat crash and whiplash. City night, bright light and herb stash.
¿Qué ondas, muchacho? Arriba las manos, gabacho moreno, penetra tu barrio. Racing you with rolas that'll rock back frente. That's again, esto pa' la gente. Like chanclazos, deep like fregadazos. Still got the coke and rum and flex the brazos. Then I hit you from a different angle. Lake Sweet, cheap shot.
I'm trying to do this where I can find a spot where it's not windy. But so to answer a few questions in regards to the channel, first and foremost, I'm not a professional racer. Anything I say in this video is about my experience with bikes I've owned. I was on a 450. I said I would never go back to a 250. Well, I never really planned on buying this bike either, but I'll give you more insight of why I did, and also why I think this potentially could be one of the best bikes for your money for anybody across the board, which it's been said before in just thousands of reviews, but I personally might be experiencing it. Last week I sold my CRF 450R Works Edition. It was a 2023. It wasn't exactly a brand new one or the newest model. Plus they have another one coming out, and that probably will be the best bike that I've ever owned or even raced, I should say. All the aftermarket goodies that come on it and the suspension setup and everything, the ECU polish head. I mean, that's really hard to beat. However, was it probably way too much bike for a guy like me? Absolutely. The 450 power is definitely better than the 250 power, especially when you weigh 190 or 200 pounds plus with gear. But a 250 has a lot of potential. Now, I've owned the Yamahas, the CRF 250s, the Yamaha 250s. I had 2-strokes. I haven't had them all, like the Kawasaki's and stuff. But I did recently ride one of these. My buddy Paul had this. He had an RMZ250. I think it was a 2023. And then he also had a RMZ450. And I wish I kept that footage because we rode it around and I immediately felt super comfortable on it. I felt exactly what you hear in the reviews. The corner's amazing. The frame is just, it feels so good. He did the fork springs on it, which I'm probably going to do to this, but I think I'm going to race it at least once the way it sits. We're going to mess with some of the clickers today too. But even the first lap, I immediately felt that low end power. Now, something about these bikes a lot of people don't know is it has a dual fuel injector setup, which most 250s don't. I think the Kawasaki's do, the new ones. I think they do also, but these have a really good setup where one fuel injector kicks in on the low end and then the other one kicks in when you throttle open the throttle body. It's also the lowest horsepower bike of the group, but for that reason, it makes it very usable for rookies or D-class, C-class guys. It's actually a really good usable motor for beginners or anybody. 7 years now, these bikes have been exactly the same, the 250. I'm pretty sure Suzuki hasn't changed anything. In fact, for 2027, they just released the 2027 models. It's the exact same bike. It even has a blue tank, blue seat, everything's the same. What they did stop doing for 2027 is this gold forks. So you're going to want to get one 2019 to 2026-ish if you want the gold forks, which I really like. But the main reason why I think this is also one of the greatest bikes, and we'll see how I do. I might do really good on the whole shots when I race it, and the power might just be perfect. But these things are readily available, really cheap, used with low hours. I paid half of what most people pay for a used bike, a Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, and the bike has 5 hours on it. And something else that's really great about these is they have a built-in hour meter, which a lot of people don't know about. It'll flash yellow. This one flashes for about 2 seconds, which means up to 10 hours. It could potentially be less than 10 hours. But if it flashes, an example, for 8 seconds, you times that times 5, and you got about 40 hours on the bike. So built-in hour meter also is another reason why this thing's just bike of the year, or I should say bike of the century. The stock exhaust is really good on these. It's like loudish, but it's not too loud. So you can leave that when racing. You know, if you have a $1,400 Yoshi on there, and I've had my mufflers crumpled at least a couple times, but you'll see in a minute, it sounds really good. It also, you can see the oil fill. It's got a clear glass for the oil fill. It's got fresh coolant in it. It's got fresh gas in it. The only other thing I just did today was I cut up the airbox screen, the backfire screen. I cut it out of the air filter cage, which I don't recommend. Don't do that, guys. Go buy the Twin Air one, or there's a couple other brands. If you do it, you got to have all the right tools, and you got to take your time, and you got to make sure you get all the little metal things. But I didn't order it, and I wanted to make this video today, and I wanted to see how the bike performs. And the only other thing that really why it loses shootouts usually is obviously the Kickstarter. But to me, it's not a big deal. This is a race bike. I only race it. I'll put 15 minutes, 20 minutes max on a bike on a race day. I don't ride them in trails. This is not a bike for trails, or if you want to go riding for hours with your buddies. It's a strictly race bike. That's what they're designed for. Now, if I fall over or flame out, you know, in the race, then I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna kickstart Kenny it, you know, with the backfire screen out. I don't recommend it. It's up to you guys, but it should prevent some flame outs. It should make it easier to start. It also should allow less engine braking. Each gear should feel a little bit longer. It allows faster airflow. So the backfire screen, you know, you can get a flame retardant oil and like air filter too. So those are all things that you can do on your own. I don't recommend it, but you guys go do it as you wish. I do it to every single bike that I ever buy. All right, guys, in real time, so there's like a cold start. You know, the bike is fuel injected. Thankfully, it's not carbureted, but I'll do this with you guys in real time so you can kind of see. Bike's completely cold, and it just started in its first kick. The only other thing I did was I started it at home, but that was like 2 hours ago. The kicking is very easy. It has auto decomp, and it feels like you're kicking a 125. So even if you have to rail on it in a race, it's very easy to kick. The 450 I rode too, very hard to kick. So this thing's very special for that reason. Let her warm up. All the clickers are set to 10. They haven't moved. Sag's not set. Completely stock suspension. Let me just get a feel for the grass is kind of high. You guys can't see it, but I'm in shorts, so it's a little sketch. It's so snappy off the bottom end, and then the top end isn't like crazy. Like, it feels planted, and it feels like you're putting power to the ground, and that's great for beginners, rookies, guys like me on a racetrack. It's excellent for the type of racing I do. I mean, like, again, we're not pros here, you know? Bottom end's nuts. It has a very different feel for a 250. I wish I had my gloves. It feels weird without gloves on. It feels like you could just turn. Again, I'm no pro. You can definitely tell it's not that peaky horsepower type 250, but again, that's, I think, the greatest part about it. There's something to be said about being in a high RPM on a bike while racing and feeling comfortable, especially when you're approaching jumps. So regardless, you're not getting a lot of video out of me today because I'm not at the track. I'm going to race it this Saturday, but what I'll do right now is turn down the clickers. I think we're going to do 5 and 5. It's at 10 on the front. I'm going to do 5 and 5 and see if it feels a little bit better, because it definitely feels like rock solid. That's why people respring them. But let me do that real fast. We'll go back out. All right, just did 5 out on the top and bottom on the front. Yeah, it feels better already. Might be able to do a few more clicks, see if she starts. I'm still getting used to how to start it hot too. Sick. That'll work. Now the rear shock feels good to me. I like my suspension stiff when I'm racing, but yeah, the forks are like super oversprung. I think it's set for like a 260 pound person. I'm about 190, so I'm in the ballpark. I might be able to leave it once we race it. I'm gonna race it at least once and mess with it more, but yeah, the power is really cool. It sounds excellent, and it's like you don't feel like you're gonna flip it over. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, I think that's a good thing. Second gear. Yeah, the fork feels way better. I might just leave it there. Yeah, the back now feels a little bit too stiff in the back, but the forks feel good. Huh, might end up leaving them. Cool bike, man. But we'll leave it at that. This is just a short video. I think this bike is gonna be my favorite bike I've had in a long time, and it's very ironic, guys. These bikes sit in the shadows at dealerships because of the kickstarts, but I've gotten a lot of feedback already from a lot of people that have seen me post on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube, and tons of people are like, the RMZ is one of their favorite bikes they've ever ridden their entire life, and I felt it. So I didn't think this was gonna happen. I sold my one bike. I didn't know this was gonna happen. So anyway, let's go back to my garage because I'm gonna show you guys something else I'm gonna do. I'm really shocked. I actually think this is gonna turn out to be a really good bike. Another thing I just noticed too was when putting it on a stand, you can grab right here without burning your hand, and there's like a good support right there. It's very easy to pick up and throw on the stand. It feels easier to throw on the stand, obviously, than that 450 I had, but they say this is like the heavier bike of the group too, which again, if it keeps you planted, it's a great thing. And I didn't even mess with these clickers, but I don't think I need to respring it. I think I'm gonna try to make the stock stuff work. And then what I'll do is we'll adjust my sag and I'll adjust clickers. I might have gone too soft. That front end feels great now. It went from feeling like you could barely move it to pretty much what feels like I like. It's not too soft. And then I think we can match up that rear spring. I think we can make this work. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm stripping the whole bike down this week. All these plastics, they're coming off, and I'm gonna clean them and put them away. Seat covers coming off, cleaning it, putting it away, even though it's already clean. I already have the black plastics kit, and I got the yellow front fender coming. I'm gonna leave the stock one off it. I got the UFO yellow front number plate. I got a skid plate. We got full graphics coming. I'm gonna make this thing look exactly like Kickstart Kenny's bike. The only thing is I'm gonna do the white number plates on the graphics instead of like having it all blacked out. So it's gonna be really slick. Then I also got my fork covers. I got grips coming. And then I went with these primes. Oh, by the way, shout out the Prime team. They're super nice. Give you a little handwritten note. I didn't do chain and sprockets yet. That's probably coming. I might do the Hinson clutch cover. It's probably coming. It's just, you know, I like to order so much at a time. I start forgetting what I even ordered sometimes. It's crazy. The guy gave me the paperwork. He also gave me the huge manual for this thing. He gave me a street legal title for the bike. And he never put this, he gave me all this stuff. He's like, yo, it could be street legal if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. I have the title for it, bill of sale. Anyway, guys, I already got a message from someone saying that they wanna buy it off me. But I'm gonna tear it apart this week. I'm gonna re-grease the linkage, see how this is kind of loose. That needs to happen. I'm gonna tighten this down. This is all coming off. Swing arms coming off. I'm gonna re-grease that, the linkage, the whole bike. I'm gonna go through it this week, a little bit at a time after work every day. And then next Saturday, we're supposed to race. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe. We're only getting started with this bike.
They're gonna go. Race her up. Gates down. And Jake gets pitched off from the inside. That's gonna allow Hunter to grab the advantage.
That Justin Cooper in second right there.
Yes.
Our lead.
the lead as it might be. No, it's Hayden Deegan. We knew it was one of the Yamahas. Good call, James. Hayden Deegan. Danger Boy able to grab the lead from Hunter Lawrence. He has not had many hole shots this year.